Hello and good morning to those of you joining us. This is Emily with FranNet, and I am here with Michael Kleinmeyer. Hi, Michael.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
So we're here to tell you about one of those essential service businesses that are really on the forefronts of so many people's minds. And there's a couple of reasons why I asked Michael to present this particular business today, and some reasons why I really like it. This is a highly, highly scalable business with surprisingly few employees. One of the things that I like about it is this is a highly fragmented market. And what this business does is it brings a level of excellence, professionalism, sophistication, and really technology to a business that some people might overlook and that's predominantly mom and pops. So, with that, Michael, I'm going to hand it over to you. And will you please tell us more about Temperature Pro?
Very good. Well, thank you, Emily. Appreciate that. And I'll start with current events. We've always said Temperature Pro, which is a heating, cooling, indoor air quality and technology business, is a necessary expenditure. You have basic human needs: food, shelter, clothing. So number one after food. Although since you really have to just pick up or have delivered food lately or make it yourself, that's one thing you can do. If something is not right with your climate control, commercially or residentially, you're probably going to call somebody who does that every day. So that word essential service has been blended into the mix over the last few weeks, unfortunately, but it does show that even though some other businesses are maybe suffering, hopefully very temporarily right now, we are 94 to 103% of normal business volume the last several weeks. So a little bit of background. I'm going to touch on high-level things about Temperature Pro. Hopefully it'll be compelling enough to have you contact Emily. And I'll start with our CEO, whose name is Don Marks. Don's been in franchising, close to 40 years. He started young. Don is a marketing person first by degree, but he's also a franchise attorney. And you don't always see the legal and the creative marketing that go together, but in Don's case, it works. He's very energetic. I've known him now for a couple of decades, and he has his top 10 list of things to do. And invariably, when he gets down to about number 4 on the list, 10 more things appear, so it never ends, full of energy. My background is corporate. Before franchising, I was in the corporate world for close to 20 years. Worked for Fortune 10, Fortune 500 companies. Didn't until toward the end of that tenure thought about running my own business. According to some aptitude test I took in the corporate world, I was too risk averse to do that. What mitigates that was franchise. You have a model to follow. You're not reinventing the wheel. So that worked out, and had a business for 11 years. Not to brag, but just to say I didn't know anything about the widget that I went into, and the franchisor didn't want that. They wanted my business experience, and worked out very well. And not to brag, but again, I had a very nice resale in my 11th year. Moved over to the franchisor side and started franchise development here for System Ford America, which is the franchisor of Temperature Pro. And a lot of you may have heard of our sister company, Popalock, which has been franchising for 26 years. So the combined management team here has about 176 years of collective management experience in franchising, most of that helping people find their way with our franchise model, supporting them and helping them achieve their goals. So we hope you see, as you get more detail on Temperature Pro, you can make a really above average income, and you'll hear that from our franchisees. But really, for what you put into Temperature Pro, you will get a whole lot more out of it. There's a great return on investment potential. Surprisingly, some people may know this, there's a lot of money that floats around at the top line when you do heating and cooling for commercial, residential, government. Doesn't translate that well for the legacy providers, I'll call them, the traditional mom and pop businesses. Their net earnings average is between 2 and 6% net EBITDA to the bottom line. Our goal for our franchisees early on, the first 18 to 24 months, is to get them to 12% or more of gross monthly revenues, of net earnings, and that's after royalties. So we outperform the averages. There are some things in our franchise disclosure document, item 19, that are compelling. But we really want you to hear it from our franchisees. So founded by System Ford America, again, Poplock has won every award there is to win in franchising. We expect to do the same with TemperPro, which was launched 4 years ago with 40 years of HVAC experience behind it, as well as the almost 180 years of franchise management experience. We call it intelligent HVAC. That's what that I is for in front of HVAC. That is, we were involved in the Internet of Things before they even had that term, Internet of Things, or the IoT acronym. We have technology for the franchisees, an operating system software, franchise management software, you can call it. That's a combination of in-house brain power and third-party customization. So it helps you run your business from the front end to the back office. Your employees, let's say you have a technician in the field, there's 3 parts to a project. They can't get to part 2 until part 1 is complete. The software won't let them. So it goes to our 2 big differences over, why not just buy an HVAC company or do this myself? Well, again, they're not very profitable. So one, it's kind of A and B equally. One is to be the most efficiently operated business in HVAC. 2 is to be the best customer service experience. And you all know, with any type of contractor services, the customer service experience at best is mixed. So we know how to gain and maintain lifelong customers, repeat customers. We have ongoing support for the franchisees, not just initial, where we throw you a manual and some DVDs and say, have a nice life. We're there for you before opening. We have an onboarding process. It's an 18-week, 12 to 18-week actually Gantt chart. Here's what you do. Here's how we help you do it. And that includes recruiting, hiring, training, putting employees through some filters that we put them through to guarantee that trust factor. And the manufacturers are all looking at TemperPro, and I'm talking about all the big brand names. Anyone you can name, they've been to our executive office, we've been to theirs, and I'm talking about Carrier, Train, York, Rheem, Amana, Lennox, Rude, Goodman. These are, the big names. I used to think I was a landlord part-time a while ago, that and keeping my tenants comfortable, that one brand was better than another. It turns out that it really is the quality of the contractor that installs the unit. All the major brand names are good quality. All the internal core components are actually made by just 2 or 3 companies, for example, Johnson Controls and Honeywell. So the business we're in is intelligent HVAC. We're involved in practical uses of new technology, Z-Wave, Zigbee, whatever it may be. What I hear is a large company like Honeywell may come along pretty soon and consolidate on one wireless language to make it standard in the industry. And this is about your devices communicating with your appliances and providing data, functionality, status, sensoring and monitoring, which you couldn't even do a few years ago. Now, a lot of the legacy providers got their training, 15, 25 years ago, and not consciously, but got into a mode, hey, I know what I know, I do what I do, leave me alone. And they haven't kept up with the changes in their own industry. So we have another advantage there. The word that simplifies things, if we're promoting or selling anything, to customers, business or residential, it's that word comfort. That's what your end user wants to achieve, as they used to say in the tech world when I dealt with engineers. So if we're promoting or selling anything, it's that word comfort. Proactive customer acquisition. There's an unmet demand in every market today and any day. There are people who want service that won't get service. So again, these relatively disorganized mom and pops don't know how to manage their business properly. They never had a plan to work from. They're good with the equipment, but that kind of thins out after that. So you'll get that with TemperPro, that low-hanging fruit. But because you have a sales manager in your organization who, under normal conditions, is at next week's Chamber of Commerce meeting, the following week's Business Networking Group meeting, Fridays usually Real Estate Brokers Council meeting, maybe meeting individually with a facilities manager or property manager who has multiple units. You don't see a lot of HVAC companies proactively doing that. Because two of the founders here are former law enforcement people that had started Popalock back in the 90s, and Popalock's grown, by the way, to cover 8,500 cities and communities in 3 different countries. So building trust, that police model, protect and serve, the time sensitivity, that's embedded in our culture, which is another reason we look and act differently than what people would expect. Now, none of our franchisees are wearing the tool belt, so to speak. These are, in the franchise jargon, called owner-executive models. They're looking to build the Temperature Pro brand with our help, hire the right employees with our help, be in charge of some of the higher value, higher target customers. You will have, as I said, a sales manager, because most people don't come from sales and marketing, but they do have operational experience, engineering, senior level, C-level, VP, owners. It runs the gamut. Again, the one thing they all have in common is business experience. They don't have HVAC experience in common. So we become viewed as the good guys, the honest and ethical guys. We've done some innovative things. We have the technological competence, the professional look. There is a system, a formula, a process to follow for every aspect of running this business. We still want you to bring your own entrepreneurial flourish to our business. If you're wondering how much is commercial and residential, I will tell you, but having been a franchisee first, and that's kind of the way I roll, it's about making the phone ring, and you can have the best people in the world, and if nobody knows you're out there, you're not going to go too far. So it's about getting the name out there in a combination of online and offline ways that work hand in hand. Overall, our business nationally, the aggregate is about 60% commercial, 40% residential. And that's over time. May start a little bit of the reverse, and there's some good reasons for that. And if you talk to some of your local mom pops, they'll say, well, we do mostly residential because commercial is not profitable. We love when they think that, because that's just telling us they don't know how to manage a commercial project. We help your employees manage that with field visits from our operations team, manage that customer for profit. So we like commercial. Most of your business will be local regional customers. I would say that I'll downplay this. We have some national account opportunities for franchisees. We work with large facilities groups, facilities management groups. If any of you have heard of MCOR Vioxx, DH Pace, American Business Management, MCON, Cushman Wakefield, CBRE, we are doing services and have been for 16 years with the Popalock business, and making them look good in front of their customers, providing locksmith and security services for companies everybody knows, like Morgan Stanley offices or Panera Bread, K Jewelers, CVS Health, nameless, faceless business office parks around the country. They like now that we're starting to give them the advantage of having one point of contact with Temperature Pro, having consistent quality of service and consistent pricing by region. We'll get into pricing as you get more into the details with Temperature Pro, but we have margin flexibility, let's call it. We're getting, because of our size, we have 45 franchisees, excuse me, that cover about 39 million in population around the country and growing. So that's 390 service areas. That's bigger than any regional mom pop. So our franchisees are getting the benefit where normally you'd have to start and earn your way up to a lot of volume. You immediately get tier 5 pricing, which is very hard to do for a standalone business, or factory direct and or rebates, which normally the franchisor would keep. In this case, with this franchisor, Don Marks is a franchisee, by the way, and isn't taking that. That's shared with the franchisees based on their participation. And those can be some pretty hefty quarterly rebate checks too. So This term, sustainable strategic competitive advantages, that is the standard our CEO holds his systems to, and why he would get involved with one. Don Marks actually came out of general counsel with Budget Rent-A-Car in the early 80s when they were owned by Transamerica. He and a few other people started an alternative car rental franchise called Rent-A-Wreck. That went to a national, international system. Don helped take that one public along the way. They don't all go public, but it was appropriate in that case. But again, more importantly, the people in that system did very well for themselves following Don's model. If any of you have heard of Ashley Furniture Home Stores, Ashley Home Stores was created by Don Marks. And they started out as your traditional manufacturer. Things hit a plateau. He met them, heard their goal to maintain their business viability. And today, Ashley is a $3 billion plus furniture franchise with over 500 stores in the US and Canada. So you will speak with Don Marks during our process. Once we go through an initial overview, maybe a little more detailed than this, a little more time, you'll be introduced to our operations team. And one of our heads, we have 3 co-heads of operations plus a project coordinator, 2 engineers on staff for the franchisees. You'll get some numbers from them on how to budget the first year and projection models for year 2 and year 3, which you'll compare with franchisees. And then you'll speak with the CEO. And that's not like an interview, that's actually an entrepreneur to entrepreneur conversation. So remember those 4 words, sustainable, strategic, competitive advantages. Weave that into your conversation with Don Marks. That will be a great call for you. And other than points below, it means that we're doing what others in the industry could do, but don't know how to do, or too complacent to do, don't think they can afford to do. We do it. So much different than my naive outlook as a former landlord in the beginning. About 15% of your business will be one-offs, but follow the Temporary Pro model. 85% total will be your repeat and referral customers. So you're building something for the long term here. This is not one of those shiny object things that make your money in a few years, because we won't be here 10 years from now. As long as there's people around, it needs to be warm when it's cold out, cool when it's hot out. That's not going anywhere. We don't just say walk around and talk about Temperature Pro. We've got a number of marketing and brand building tools, content, SEO, SEM. We'll talk about what those terms are if you're not familiar with them. We don't expect every franchisee to be an internet marketing expert. We have online directories, social digital media, digital TV, radio spots, media kits. If you're wondering what this cute little Siberian Husky puppy is on the page there, that's Comfy, our de facto head of PR. We have a Comfy Cares program. We help franchisees connect with asthma, allergy, lung cancer awareness associations, talking about indoor air quality, which we've always talked about. But the media has put a lot more focus on that, and the customers now are going for things more with indoor air quality, air purification. We have the technology, not just a heavy duty filter, which is nice, but some electronics and digital technology that remove 75 to 98% of viruses and bacteria out of the air. And once this passes, which it will, next cold and flu season, this will still be top of mind. So we're ready. We're actually, one of the reasons we're busy today in all our markets is because of that. And even a simple thing, if that was aside, if your office, school, whatever it is closed for a few weeks and could be closed maybe for the rest of this month, you need to still keep it climate controlled. Maybe not as comfortable as the people were in there, but you can't leave it off. You don't want to return to something that's damp, moldy, or whatever. So we've got a lot similar to the operations Gantt chart. Here's what to do, here's when to do it, here's how we help you do it. Marketing also has what they call a marketing flow chart, which here are the right things to do that give you a better bang for your investment, your working capital devoted to marketing. And here's something you might think of doing, but let's save that for later, and here's why. So your organization chart will look like this. The franchisee, call it the general manager. The owner, office staff would be a administrative manager, a senior tech with a license, which we help everyone find. Down here, a junior tech who can also learn more, earn more, and move up. Salesperson will give them a fancy title like design specialist. Those are your W-2 employees. Initially, if you need an extra pair of hands for multiple unit installs, we'll help you contract with people. When you get to 3 installs a day, which you will as a franchisee, then it's time later. Our operations team will show you how to control the burn, they call it, on working capital, and we're, again, another efficiency factor. We show you how to hire the employees, recruit, train, retain. Really 3 keys to success. We have the proven process, the operating procedures, the practice, the marketing, the business building, all hand in hand. The product, again, everyone needs it. Staffing, we know, is perceived as a challenge, but even through low or tight employment times, we've been able to find good people for our franchisees. Now, the negative people say the unemployment rate's going to be way high after this. We won't even go there. Yes, it will loosen up a little. So if we could find it with low unemployment for the franchisees, we're going to be able to find even more going forward. So we do believe we're one of the best opportunities in franchising today. We grant exclusive territory regions for our franchisees. Here's one example. In the market, this happens to be Austin, Texas, where we have, let's call it the southwestern portion was franchised earlier. We have a new franchisee that's coming on. They have territories of at least 500,000 in population, so it's a whole region, not just one store. You need an administrative office. You don't need stores because we're going out to the customers. They're not coming to us. The dollars per square foot are lower. It's easier to find. You're in a light industrial park, business office park, near a main highway, easy in and out. We can do larger coverage areas, but the initial franchise fee for 500,000 in population is $147,500. And that includes the exclusive territory license, the operating system, the software, which there is no extra fee for. There's no conversion fee. This plans a number of field visits up front. So there's very little after that. Our CEO, again, being a franchisee, doesn't like to ding and ping with conversion fees or software fees or other things. Or it really should be included up front. Now, you do need working capital for any business. Again, your time to market, your time for revenue generation will be quicker. So on top of the franchise fee, you'll need about $200 to $225 over 12 months, not all up front. So my all investment, budget $350, $375 over 12 months, franchise fee up front, working capital over 12 months. The royalties are a total of 7% gross monthly revenues, and that's 6% broken out for the franchisor, plus 1% for the national ad fund. The media library, digital media library, print library is all produced by the ad fund, so you're not paying for production of any of your advertising materials locally. So a quick overview again, all our franchisees have great business experience. It comes from a number of places, as you see on the list there. You notice there's no HVAC. It really is the ability to follow a proven model. That's what we put a premium on. So if you would like more information, please contact Emily, and there's her email and phone number. And I appreciate your attention and patience. It's a very unique franchise, but again, exceptional income. I will give it back to Emily, unless you can think of anything I might have missed.
You did great. You even told people what to do if they want to get more information. Michael, thank you so much. It was so
We could
much
try it again.
information. So yeah, as Michael said, if you're interested in getting more information on Temperature Pro, or really, if you'd like to get in touch with your local FranNet associate, there's a couple of next steps you can do. You can complete your personal franchise assessment if you haven't already. I've provided a link here. You're also welcome to just get in touch with your local FranNet associate if you'd like to have a conversation, ask some questions, etc. If you don't know who your local FranNet consultant is, you can just contact me directly and I will arrange a personal introduction. So, Michael, again, thank you so much. Everyone, stay well, be well, and I wish you the best on your entrepreneurial journey. Thanks again, Michael.
Thank you. Everyone stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Bye.